And we are back on Open Line. Chuck Long here with attorney Kevin Kennedy. We are glad that you're joining us this evening. We've got about 20 more minutes on the show. We'll get to as many questions as we possibly can. But Kevin, one of the things that we were talking about before the break, jury trials.
Yes.
Very
well. You know, when we were talking about this new theory that I've been working on, it's really going to be most tested in front of the right case and the right jury. We used to learn in law school, there's a thing called the hound dog technique, meaning the lawyer looks at the prospective juror and do we have chemistry? Some young lawyers may not understand that concept, may not know how to implement it. And if you got the eye contact, then I was very successful in many jury trials, and many times the other side would know so much law. They were skilled in the law. And one told me afterwards, he said, Kevin, what you try to do is connect with those guys on that jury, and your credibility is so strong in this community, they believe everything. So I've tried to look back at that, but I can look at a man's eyes and I know if he's going with us or if he's not. And I can look at and know, we all, in a jury pool, we get what their professions are. We can do the analysis, and many times when you're in a smaller town, lots of people know, and quite frankly, if I was going to try one in another county, I might even get someone who's local to assist in the selection of the jury. And I would submit a very skilled lawyer should come and try to get someone to assist them. And that's in murder trials or civil trials. Some people do. And it gets down to the credibility. Are you really believable? Are you telling the truth? And if a lawyer ever loses his credibility, he's lost the case.
Absolutely. All right, another great piece of advice, good information to know. We are going back to the lines right now. Donna is on the line with us. Donna, good evening. Do you have a question for Kevin?
Yes. What can you do about the marketers that call your home?
Well, you know, you can always call the Federal Trade Commission, the FCC, and you can file a complaint with them, and you can be put on the no-call list. And there's supposedly a fine up to $1,500 for people when they do call. I have not heard of anyone actually collecting that, but we all know that that is a problem. And I don't know how they get your cell number, but they're calling all the time and is extremely aggravating. So that's what you do.
All right. So good to know, Donna. Thank you for the call. We are going right back to the lines. Denise is on the line with us. Denise, good evening. And do you have a question or a comment for Kevin? Can you hear us, Denise? Well, Denise, one more try.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Go ahead, Denise.
I have a question, please. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. I have a question.
Okay.
Hi, Denise. Hi. Yes, I have a question. I wanted to ask, is there any way to get things off your credit earlier than 7 years, or does it just stay on there for the whole 7 years?
Okay. Well, you know, when you have something that's on your credit report that you dispute and you maintain that that is an error, and people all have them all the time, then you can write the credit bureau and ask them to remove it and say whether it's fraud, it's a mistake, or whatever. So you have a right to challenge things on that, and so you would do it by your letter, you could do it by affidavit, and you could provide other documentation.
All right. Well, that is also good to know, Denise. We appreciate that call. And right back to the lines. Lucy's on the line with us. Lucy, what's the question this evening?
Yeah, thanks for letting me come back.
Absolutely.
Hey, Mr. Kennedy,
yes,
you just
Lucy.
mentioned something that I'm trying to understand. Again, the state legislature passed some law just in the recent years here in Tennessee about lawyers and their ability to practice in the state of Tennessee. It used to be that you had to, and you can explain this so I can understand this further, but when you take your state bar license, that's for the state, because the state in Tennessee might have different laws about something than, say, Kentucky.
Yes.
So are you licensed for, let's use you as an example.
Okay.
Are you licensed to practice in both Tennessee and Kentucky? Because now I understand I can come here from Utah, not have to take the State Bar of Tennessee exam and practice law here. And wouldn't it be better to have somebody that was had passed the State Bar here in Tennessee to help me because of Tennessee law applying to a case
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to hang up and listen to what you got to say.
You make a great point, and the truth is, in Tennessee, you have to take a Tennessee bar exam. If you went to Kentucky, you have to take a Kentucky bar exam. Now, they have a 5-year reciprocity rule, so once you've had 5 years experience and you came from an ABA-approved law school, then you could make application and move in and get. They just tell me one of the interns that worked for me just passed the bar, and so I saw her just last week, and she said, well, you know, they've got a new thing, Kevin. It's a uniform part, and if you pass this, you can practice in all these other states. So we just learned that within the last week, and I wasn't aware of that, but she's gotten her a job. She's a district attorney going to go to Houston, and I was always proud. I've always been proud of people who I got to help along the way, and they are there. I was at a seminar today, and one of the young men that I'd helped, he became a district attorney about 5 or 6 counties away. So, you know, at Christmas, I hope that you'll try to help somebody along the way. I was thinking about this and I hope I answered your question. But I wanted to challenge everyone to this Christmas to try to think about, you won't have to have all these lawyers and laws. If you'll just try to be a kinder person, try to be friendlier than you have to be more generous than you have to be, we can stop a lot of the rage and the aggravation if we would practice those. And I really believe it, and that's what I would share with you. That was a side note. Back to you, Chuck.
Well, I will certainly echo that. So always a good piece of advice there. You know, and like I said, things have gotten a little crazy. So just being kinder and helping folks.
Yes,
is
and you know,
the
Bible says
thing.
it's so clear. You're going to reap what you sow. So he who sows mercy and generosity in your hour of need, you'll reap it.
There you go. All right, we are going back to the lines right now. Dean is on the line with us. Dean, we appreciate your patience. And do you have a question or a comment for Kevin? Are you with us, Dean? Dean, can you hear us?
My name is Ann.
Well,
okay, Ann.
Well,
we're
going to take your call then. All right.
Okay, I have a question for Mr. Kennedy.
All right.
Is the administrator of an account that was awarded in a divorce settlement allowed to alter and change that order in any way?
Okay. The first thing we've got to do, if it was a court-ordered final decree in a divorce, then you need to look at the specific language in that decree. See if it referred to TCA, something or another, because TCA may give wide range to that administrator and they may not. So that's the first thing I would do, is look at the final decree, the specific wording. I'll take a side note with this too. You know, every day we have to try to negotiate divorce settlements and marital dissolution agreements. Some lawyers say, well, Kevin, we don't have to put that in there. I said, I know we don't have to, but why don't you just make me happy and put it in, because that one little word can make a difference. So if you're in a divorce situation, do you want the other side's lawyer drawing the papers, or do you want your lawyer drawing the papers? I always like for my lawyer to draw the papers, and it's great. Everybody needs a lawyer, and if there's something that is worded too slanted, because it's so complicated, it's complicated for a lawyer, and then what you're doing is leaving that gray area up for a judge to interpret it later. And if it's administrators of bank, guess what? Do you think the banks have lawyers?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guarantee it?
Oh, yeah.
They have specific trust accounts and trust departments that handle that. They're all skilled in that. So that's what I would recommend.
All right, great recommendation. So thanks so much for the call, and we appreciate it. We are going to take a short break. We have a lot of you on the line with us, and we'll get to as many calls as we can when we come back. You're watching Open Line.